Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I'm JT O'Sullivan. Today, Justin Fields, Nebraska, some absolute spectacular plays, some head scratchers. Fired up for it. He is definitely one of the top prospects in college football. Fired up to look more at him. You are going to enjoy it, dig it. Let's dive into it. Welcome to the QB School. So you dig this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, get the notifications, let you know when we go live, when we put out new content. I always appreciate the support for the channel. Then you want to take it to another level. Get over to the Patreon community, get a membership to the channel, and then if you're looking for more information on RPOs, check out the course, the one and only QB School course. The link is in the description to the video. I appreciate it. Let's dive into this one. This one is a preview to what's available for the entire game over on the Patreon community, full game analysis. So this is just basically a sample, highlights, lowlights, some pretty spectacular plays in this video. So fired up to dive into it. You will dig it, but if you want the entire one, get over to the Patreon community. I appreciate it. Let's dive into it. Here we go. Justin Fields, Nebraska. So the first one we're looking at here is really a funky formation, basically a 0x4 or really a 3x1 that I'll talk about with that covered number 2 receiver up top. But they're running just 4 verts, really 3x1, 4 verts. He takes off, great scramble. They can't handle him. We're going to see exactly how they do that here. So when I'm talking about kind of a funky formation, and when I say 0x4, there's no eligibles on the line of scrimmage to the right. So pause this thing, look at it here, take a moment to really talk about the details here of what's going on. So we've got 1, 2 wide receivers on the line of scrimmage, 5 offensive linemen on the scrimmage. There's nobody on this side of the ball on the line of scrimmage. So this wide receiver technically is not eligible. He can catch a lateral, and they kind of fool him here by running a little bubble, but really he's a non-factor here. So this defender out here, we're going to see he just keeps getting depth. He knows he's not guarding anybody here. But in reality, all they're running is 4 verts. A little QB School logo right here, really from a 3x1, and then they're running kind of a rail, bullet, whatever you want to call it, out the backfield. That's the play. But how they get there is the interesting part. They get there with this 0-4 formation, and it causes all sorts of issues on the back end. Then all of a sudden, you can't handle a mobile quarterback when you've got come out here and your coverage is distorted. So again, they get a little confused. You could make the argument here that he could probably throw this ball to the tight end coming across the number 3 right there, back of the corner. I wouldn't say it's wide open. It's NFL open. But again, the worst spot to be if you're a defensive lineman, past the quarterback. They run a little stunt, little ET on the right. There it is. Linebacker 7 had a rough day. Can't make anything happen here. Doesn't even get within 2 yards of him. Not even close to getting him in two-hand touch there. Really nice job, but great design. And there's some great design going on with the Ohio State offense, no doubt about it. Love the formation. Again, he comes back here. Another thing that I forgot to mention, might as well take it all the way back to the back. He's pumping this bubble to the left. So really it's a fake screen, which they run a bunch of in this game. Fake screen, you can see his shoulders. This little quick hesitation. So boom, no. All of a sudden, you know, one thing that did glare itself, besides for ridiculously athletic plays and dynamic throws, is Fields struggled, in my opinion, to get through some reads. Now there's such a well play design stuff with the offense of what they're doing that they can get the first guy open usually. But when it doesn't happen, he's got a tendency to take off here. And I'll slow it down here and just talk about oftentimes you'll stunt a defensive line trying to take away run lanes for a quarterback. Depending on the down and distance, you can see the stunt on the left-hand side with the ET. Well, if you catch him and pin him, all of a sudden it creates this huge gap that they get caught in a handful of times in this game. Poor 7's got no chance. Beautiful dive for the end zone. And he's dynamic on a number of different levels. This next one is one of the ones that I think he really wishes he had back. This is another fake screen to the left. So now we're going to fake the tunnel screen to the number 2 receiver up top. There it is. Faking that tunnel screen. And I think he should come back down here when he says no to the seam. So I'll let it play once and then I'll draw it for us. No to the seam. Yes to the in. There it is. Right down the tracks. He doesn't get to it, and I think this is the part of his game where I think can really grow. And it's going to have to grow to be successful on Sundays, in my opinion. You just can't scheme people up and always have the number 1 receiver open. So right here, scheme-wise, what's going on? They're going to fake this tunnel screen to the number 2 receiver. So right here, this is who they're faking. This number 3 receiver is coming in here to block the nickel Sam, and he is then going to go up the seam. And this is really number 1. On the backside, we're going to get an inside release number 2. And where I think the ball should be thrown is right here. So he basically needs to go no to number 1, yes to number 2. And he doesn't. He just gets off of it. So that's really the development, it's not necessarily maturity by any means. It's just the development within the pocket. So right there, he says, see, he gets off of him. He's already off of him. Now you just reset your feet and throw it right down the hash. Instead, he takes off. You can see there's just no anticipation there. The space is there. The leverage is there. Everything is there to throw that ball right down the hash. Anticipation on the end. Doesn't happen. He's scrambling. Still doesn't make a bad play a disaster. I love seeing the throwaway. But again, there's just that little element that I really am going to look for in his game to be able to consistently get from 1 to 2. It's not huge jumps, to number 4 and 5. But just right here, no. Again, they're running another fake screen. You can see the guy's hands come up right here on the right like he's faking the screen. Some bad acting. So no to the seam, and then right there to the end. Right down the hash, just throw it. Nice catchable ball. You see him break. But again, he's skipping through, in my opinion. There's no one threatening his feet. There's no time clock issues. He just kind of panics. And so there's areas for him to get significantly better. And then right here, again, we talked a little bit about, I'll talk about this play. I'll let it run one time. This is just quarterback, basically toss crack right to yourself. But he's so dynamic of an athlete that what defensive guys, man, they love to say, we're going to mug the mic and create all sorts of havoc, rush 5 guys, do all sorts of stuff. So when they walk this linebacker up into the A gap, he's normally back here by the umpire. They walk him up here. They think they're getting into some like fancy 5-on-5 blocking here on a 3rd down. So you got to basically go 1-on-1 all over the place. Well, the other thing that they like to do is then twist some of these guys we've already talked about with a little TE or ET, talk about on the back end. But right here, if they're just going to run it, so he's going to come down here. This tight end is going to short motion down, and then he's going to crack this man on the line of scrimmage, the last man on the line of scrimmage. Well, they stunt themselves, so they do a little TE, so the tackle's coming first. The end basically takes him out of it. So now there's just this crazy soft edge that he's able to just run. I mean, this is too easy. This is way too easy. This is trying to guess on defense a little bit, get too cute, Mike A-gap mug stuff. And now you got nobody scraping over the top to be able to go make this tackle on the sideline. And they get an easy first down, a walk first down, a Pop Warner first down right here. So again, one more time, we'll be able to see it from the back end. We're going to crack 22, but 22 is going to take him out of the play with the TE. You can see the walked up Mike, number 3. There it is. There's the stunt. Look at that. I mean, it doesn't get easier than that. That's the easiest crack you'll ever see. You don't even have to touch him. They actually end up cracking the tackle, which was a great adjustment by the tight end. But my goodness, it doesn't get easier than that, y'all. That's too easy. That's bad ball. So another one, this is a massive shot down here to the bottom of the screen, a double move. Oh my God. He crushes his soul. I'll let it play here. To me, he throws this ball way too flat, makes the ball way too difficult. And I really think it's both their faults for this not being a touchdown. But this has got to be a touchdown. Watch this thing all the way again. This is wide open. You could punt it to him right here. I mean, you're not going to get a more open look than that. He throws it crazy flat for some reason. But again, just you got to respect the play call here. To the field, double move, pull the guard, little waggle right, boot right, whatever. Set your feet, let it rip. But he misses a handful of throws. Now, it's a completion. It's not a miss, but you can tell he's pissed. They didn't score, and he should score on this. Both of them are probably in the wrong here. I would say that the ball doesn't have to be so flat. Like, I don't understand. Look at that rope. I mean, it's a frozen rope, but, like, it doesn't have to be like that. Just throw it out there, let him run under it, and keep running as opposed to falling. And just let me tell you, this is bad sign right here. Bad vibes with the balloon. Anytime you get a balloon, and a double balloon is the worst, but a single balloon in the end zone shot, not a good sign. Whoo. Come back again here. Another one. They're trying to get cute again on defense. Double mug, double A-gap mug with middle field open. I'm telling you, every offense in the country is going to try to throw a seam or a ball up the middle up the middle of the field. It's just that easy. You can't consistently do this. We'll talk about the procedure here of what goes on. Accuracy maybe a little bit behind him, but what they're trying to do here, and we'll see, I'm pretty sure it's on the video. Yeah. Look at them pointing here at the line of scrimmage, and we'll see it from the back end too. So what's going on is they're basically trying to say 6 on 6. They want to be able to keep the back in with how they dictate who blitzes, and then usually to whatever side the back is on, the man side of the protection, they'll try to get a stunt or a twist. So again, the center pointed to the right. That means the guy on our left, the defense's right, is going to blitz the back to keep him in. There it is. And then we're probably going to get a stunt. There it is. Too easy. But because you're up at the line of scrimmage, no one can carry number 3. They're basically asking a defensive end here to carry number 3. Not really. They're asking the safety to have 3 vertical. But again, that underneath run out, he's not helping on that slant or seam. It's all bad. This is great scheme. Excellent execution. Great finish at the end too. Yikes. Well, from the back end here, watch this. Watch what's going on here as far as the nuance and details here. See them pointing to 31? That means the line is going to 31. The center is going to 31. So that defense, like classic, trying to think who would do this, like Mike Zimmer back in the day, they would just go. It doesn't. The defense doesn't have a call for which one of these 2 guys is going. They have one of those guys is going to go, and they like to go. So if they're going to point here, then this guy is going to go. He's going to blitz because that means that the back then has to eat him, block him. And then if you're to the backside, so these 2, they're usually communicating. We'll see it, or I'll run it back again. They're communicating, hey, the back's to our side, we're the man side. Now we're going to do some sort of stunt or twist. So lots going on here at the line of scrimmage. All of it offensively, if you're thinking. Defensively, you're thinking, oh, we're going to get them. We're going to get the back in, and we're going to run a little game. But then you void this huge area. I mean, it's too easy. I can't tell you how many seam balls I've thrown with defenders not looking, only covering the width of their shoulders on double A-gap mug looks like this. So see if I can take it all the way back, slow it way down to see the communication element to this thing. We should see, now that we've talked about it a handful of times, we should be able to see the point, what's going on here with Fields, the center. They're definitely pointing 31. There it is. Super clean. Now watch the 2 defensive linemen on the right. See how they're looking and talking to each other? They're going, yeah, the back's to us. We're twisting. Who's going? You go. Here we go. So lots of communication to the defensive line, all to give open a wide open slant or seam, whatever. Boom. On the body, on the break. Get in the end zone. So close. Nice. I love it, though. Really good stuff. Then here, I mean, this is just a combination of really bad defense and just dynamic. This is basically just bash inside zone, quarterback inside zone. So we're running bash to the left, back away from the run. The linebacker takes himself out of there, and this is the biggest hole you'll ever see. He does a little Walter Payton there. You see the little, I call this the sweetness shuffle. I don't know what you call it, like the little, yeah. Be even better if he could get in there and score. From the back end here, though, quickly talk exactly what's going on. They're running what I'm used to calling, what I think most people call bash, which is essentially back away from the run. So basically wide outside zone going this way. We're basically going to get, we're blocking here. We're arcing out to someone who's not even here. We're going to read this defender right here. And poor 31, he just loses his mind. Either he's blitzing or he loses his mind. He ends up taking himself out of the play. And then we basically got just great angles on the front side. So we're going to go combo to 7. We're going to go combo to 21. We're going to go right here, one-on-one, and we're out the gate. Poor 7, pretty sure 7 jumps around. No idea what he's reading. Again, that's what the bash does to some linebackers. They get their eyes in the wrong spot. Oh, no, was that a double? There it is, the double balloon. Nightmare. Bad sign for Nebraska's defense. Whoop. I mean, that's too easy. Too easy of a read. Bash inside zone. Whoop. There it is. 431 and 97 unblocked. It's going to be really hard on your defense. 7, no idea what you're doing. Whoop. There it is. Watch that little shuffle. That's why I put it on there really more than anything else. That little whoop. I love the confidence. Open field. He's thinking he's scoring. Nice tackle right there. And this one, this is just shake your head awesome. Basically just 2 options by the inside wide receivers. He doesn't like it, doesn't panic, keeps his eyes down the field, crazy, run around, and then make that throw. I mean, my goodness. Again, one more time. Whatever the read here is, you pick a side, you work the option you want. You know, it looks like he works the right. If he would have worked the left, he probably throws this. No, doesn't panic. Guys at his feet. Two guys hit his feet. Eyes down the field. Going full Patrick Mahomes back the other way. Dime from the back end. It's even better. Again, directing traffic with the point up front. Three-step, working the option. He's working to the right. Says no, can't go. Again, you know, could he go from our left to 14 right here? Probably, but someone's at his feet. I get him. Someone's at his feet. But again, there's not a whole lot of instances where he's going 1 to 2 even. And that, again, that's just where I think his growth is going to come. No, someone's at his feet. Someone's at his feet. Eyes down the field. I mean, look at. I mean, that is a straight up ridiculous throw. Oh my goodness. Right before half. Really special. Really special. And then this is just a big boy out to the field up top. And this is, you know, I got issues a little bit with the drop, but it's hard to say any sort of issues when you drop this type of dime on this. So, I mean, he's just throwing a speed out up top, but I would love his drop to be a little bit smoother. That second step to me is just underneath himself, but 3 no hitch to the field with wide hashes is ridiculous. Then look, when he lets this thing go, he has to throw over that flat defender. I mean, that guy is in the lane. There's no, I mean, you got to have supreme confidence to throw it out over this guy right up on your wide receiver's face with a little bit of anticipation. He's throwing that before the guy's out of it. I mean, this is a beautiful throw. This is the first throw of the second half. Similar throw to how they started the game on one of these outs like this, but that is a dime. I mean, this is the type of arm talent that people just don't realize is at the highest level. I mean, I could just watch that on a loop. Oh my goodness. Whoop. Strike on the guy's face. Oh my goodness. Again, I think it's a little bit hard with the drop to do it consistently, but damn, he does. 1, 2, 3, whoop. I mean, just ripping it. So nice. So that's Justin Fields right now. There are some dynamic plays. Now, they do a lot of great stuff at Ohio State, but he is special on a number of different levels of playing quarterback. Running the ball, athletic, dynamic, arm strength, making plays, eyes down the field, ripping balls outside the numbers from the far hash. Really, really special things. That's why he's so high on so many draft boards. But I do think that there is evidence in the film where he can significantly improve his quality of play from the pocket by just being able to go 1 to 2. And 1 to 2 consistently, that evolves into 1 to 2 to 3. Now you're throwing checkdowns, and now you're staying longer and longer, and you've turned being a dynamic player into a huge 2-decade career. And so I'm excited to see his growth. I think he's got a crazy high ceiling. If you want to see the entire video, get over to the Patreon community. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one.